You know, folks, I thought I'd kind of get this off my mind. It's a bit of Sonic comic news if you want. But you know, we are basically 1 month out of the 225th issue, anniversary issue of the comic. And, well, it's, you know, a lot of people are still speculating as who the character is going to be that's going to be hanging by a thread. Life's going to be hanging in the balance, probably at death's door or something like that. You know, a lot of people want to know who the character is, and you know, so many guesses have come out there. People are throwing out names of characters they just want to see go because they feel that another character could benefit from them gone, and some feel that, hey, this character could finally be with that character if this character's gone, you know, things like that. And I can tell you this honestly, folks. The one place you do not want to probably bring up a debate about that this much is at the cartoons and comics section at the Sega.com forums, because I'm not trying to sound biased or anything, but it sounds like to me that those at the cartoons and comics section at Sega.com are more Sega Sonic, if you will, than they are anything else. In other words, they firmly believe and stand by the fact that Sega Sonic is the only true canon in the franchise. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to say and believe in and say is true, because in their opinion it is. And you got to realize that a lot of these new fans in the past decade or so have come to the Sonic fan base, have become Sonic fans due to the fact that it's because of the games. It's because of things like Sonic X, you know, and that's the only one they know. While the rest of us, we've had 20 plus years to say, you know what, we've had 20 years to say, you know what, we've seen all different canons, all different kind of continuities of Sonic. So it really doesn't matter which one is better. You know, to us it's like in the past 20 years, we've accepted that, okay, there's a continuity that's game only, there's a continuity that's a mixture of both games, the Saturday morning cartoon from the 90s and you know, so forth, and put together in an original story. We've also accepted there's a continuity that's Sonic X-wise, there's a Sonic Underground continuity. In the past 20 years, we've accepted all that. There's different canons and continuities within the franchise. Well, those at Sega.com in the cartoons comics section, you know, the message board, are more targeted towards that game continuity. They feel it's the only true one. Now, like I said, it's no big deal. But again, you know, with the fact that we're 1 month out of finding out who it could be, whose life will be hanging in the balance and probably at death's door, a lot of people are throwing out the speculations, especially now that we're getting more descriptions of the Genesis storyline. You know, a lot of people are wondering, does this tie in somehow with 225? You know, what's the deal there? Some are saying that, because if you go to Bubble King, there's the Bubble King forums, the BubbleKing.com forums, in the side of Mobius section. You know, you have some fans, you know, coming out there and saying, you know, that, you know, this could be, that the Death Egg that's going to be returning in 225 could be doing this, it could be causing time warps, global amnesia, things like that. People are just throwing out all these theories, and some people have to, you know, come out, some fans have to come out and say, you know, look, despite what you think, that's not what's going to happen. This is basically non-canon. This is basically taking place aside from the continuity. This is taking place aside from the I apologize for that. Okay, I apologize for that, folks. We had the city of Patterson, you know, grass service, the people that pick up their grass and all that come in. But anyway, like I was saying, You have a group of fans on this message board that are trying to tell them that that's not what Genesis is about. Genesis is non-canon. In other words, it takes place outside of the continuity. It's something, totally different than what you're used to. For example, I can go back and hold on for a second. Let me check my time here. In fact, I can go back and use, for example, when Ian Flynn, the head writer, decided to continue where Ken Penders had left off with Mobius years later. He used 2 issues in the comic book to do it. This is before Sonic Universe. You got to realize this is before Sonic Universe. And instead of using them as side stories, he used them as the main story. So that's what he did. He continued where Ken Penders had left off with Mobius years later, and went in that direction. Now, if you think about it, he interrupted the current continuity to go in that direction. Even though he's come out and said that Mobius years later is not the future, it's a different continuity, it's a different timeline or zone, he still took time out to do that. And the same could be said for Sega, the Sonic Genesis. It's the fact that he's interrupting the current storyline in continuity to kind of retell an origin in the way of Sonic 1, apparently, according to some. It looks like a 4-part, maybe 2-part kind of deal for Sonic 1, and then the last 2 are Sonic 2. But the reason he's doing that is to coincide with the anniversary. You've got to realize we've got the Sonic Genesis game coming out. It's not Sonic Genesis, but Sonic Generations game coming out. And you got to. I want you to take a look at the time frame here. I want you to take a look at the time frame here, folks. The time frame is during the summer that this is all taking place. The Genesis story arc, Generations come out. It's all during the summer, and as soon as we get into the fall, we go back. Everything goes back to normal. Probably with a few changes, thanks to the retelling, if you will, of the origin story in some way. But that's what it is, basically. And again, some people still want to come out and say, oh, it's, maybe, 225 and the Death Egg have something to do with it. Perhaps, but we don't know. We don't really know. I mean, if they're saying we're going to continue where we left off in 230, that's just, I don't know what that means. It can mean anything. We don't know what Genesis is, really. But the truth is, it looks like more of the fact that it's, based on, like, the first 2 issues could be based on Sonic 1, and the last 2 could be on Sonic 2. Who knows? But that's basically what it looks like Genesis is. Maybe all 4 are based on Sonic 1. We don't know. And when they say new friends, and then they call Rotor Boomer, they're calling Rotor Boomer in this one. Folks, it's very obvious that this is nothing more than a retelling of the origin stories. Retelling it in the way of what it would have been like. Telling it in a way of what it would have been like if it had followed the original Sonic game that put Sega Genesis on the map. It would have followed that. So, but again, a lot of people are just speculating 1 month out now as who could be on death's door, whose life could be hanging in the balance because of Genesis, or sort of because of Genesis. We don't know. And what else could be happening? So, but again, if you take a look at the time frame, Sonic Genesis is taking place during summer. At the same time, Sonic Generations is coming out. And it's just a summer thing, then we get back into 230, back into things the way they were. So, and that's about it. So again, that's just, I guess you could say, some Sonic comic news for today. And if you want to let me know anything, comment down below, go ahead. But that's from what I've read on various websites and message boards. Tell me what you guys think. Comment below. Peace out.